Hello students, welcome to the online classes of Sri Mahavir International School, Rainwal. I hope you all are safe at your home and also doing studies on time. So today we will discuss about the commerce. What is commerce? Commerce refers to all those activities which help directly or indirectly in the distribution of goods to the ultimate consumer. There will be no use of producing goods unless and until these goods reach the ultimate consumer. Goods are produced at one place and consumers are scattered at different places. The consumer are not aware of what kind of goods are produced by the manufacturer. Goods are produced in a large quantity and demanded by consumer in a small quantity. All these problems, that is the hindrance of place, hindrance of knowledge, hindrance of storage, etc. are solved by commerce. So function of commerce या role of commerce. The commerce segment of business activity is very important. Commerce is considered as the backbone of industry. The goods produced by the industry reach the ultimate consumer only because of commerce. Commerce performs the following function. First is helps in removing the hindrance of persons. Second is helps in removing the hindrance of place. Third is helps in removing the hindrance of time. Helps in removing the hindrance of exchange, risk, knowledge. So first function is helps in removing the hindrance of persons. A large variety of goods are produced by a group of persons called producers. Again, I repeat, a large variety of goods are produced by a group of persons called producers. These goods are produced for another group of persons called consumer. There is no direct relation between producers and consumers. The trade segment of commerce creates a link between producers and consumer. Traders help in exchange of goods or services from the producers to consumer and hence remove the hindrance between producers and consumers. Now second is helps in removing the hindrance of place. Goods are produced at one place whereas consumers are scattered in different corners of the country. There is a place gap between the producers and consumers. The transport segment of commerce helps in removing the place gap. The transport move goods from the place of production to their markets which are easily accessed by the customer. This transport is essential for buying and selling of goods. It is an important function of commerce. So transport के थ्रू आप एक सामान को एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान पर मीन्स वन प्लेस टू अनदर प्लेस पे आप ले जा सकते हैं. लाइक जयपुर से आपको कोई रेनवाल सामान मंगाना है तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के अकॉर्डिंग आप किसी ट्रांसपोर्ट कंपनी में अपना लगा देते हैं पार्सल कि हाँ वहाँ से. तो ये क्या है, ये एक फैसिलिटी ही है. तो कॉमर्स में वो फैसिलिटी भी अवेलेबल करवाई जाती है. सो हेल्प थर्ड इज हेल्प्स इन रिमूविंग द हिंड्रेंस ऑफ टाइम. Some goods are produced in particular season only but are demanded throughout the year. For example, wheat, rice, pulses, etc. On the other hand, some goods are produced throughout the year but are demanded in a particular season. So there is a time gap between the production and consumption. The goods need to be kept safe and fresh during this time gap. Warehousing segment of commerce helps in removing the problem of time gap. वेयर हाउस बनाए जाते हैं ताकि वहाँ पे आपका सामान स्टोर किया जाता है ताकि कोई प्रॉब्लम ना आए, सामान खराब ना हो. द गुड्स कैन बी केप्ट सेफली इन द वेयर हाउस टिल दे आर डिमांडेड इन द मार्केट. जब तक डिमांड मार्केट में डिमांडेड रहता है तब तक, मतलब जब आपको चाहिए तब आप वहाँ से स्टोरेज से निकाल के आप सामान को सेल कर सकते हैं. Various type of warehouses are constructed and according to the requirement goods are kept in these warehouses. For example, goods are kept in cold storage houses, inflammable goods in fireproof warehouses, etc. Now fourth is helps in removing the hindrance of exchange. The goods and services produced by the manufacturer are sold to buyer in exchange of money. The common medium of exchange is circulated by the banking branch of commerce. The banks help the buyer and the sellers in making and collecting payments. Now businessmen can send money from one place to other place in the form of bank draft, checks. Banks are also financing businessmen by granting them loans, credit facility, etc. Banks are helping in external trade also by issuing letter of credit and by providing foreign currency. So आजकल तो आपके पास पेटीएम हो गया, फोन पे हो गया, उनके थ्रू भी आप पेमेंट कर सकते हैं. So now is help. Next is helps in removing hindrance of risk. There are different types of risk which a businessman has to face. The insurance branch of commerce helps in removing the hindrance of risk by providing protection and compensation to the insured. Insurance companies agree to undertake to make good the loss suffered by the businessman. The common types of risk covered by an insurance company are damage of goods during transit, storage by fire, flood, rain, etc. तो कॉमर्स में क्या होता है, इंश्योरेंस फैसिलिटी भी आपको दी जाती है. कॉमर्स का ही पार्ट है इंश्योरेंस फैसिलिटी भी. तो इंश्योरेंस में आपका लाइफ इंश्योरेंस होता है. आपका कोई भी सामान है जो ख़राब हो जाता है, लाइक फ्लड से रिस्क हो, बाय स्टोरेज, बाय फायर, तो फायर इंश्योरेंस होता है. तो इस टाइप की रिस्क से भी आपको फ्री कौन करता है, कॉमर्स. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज हेल्प्स इन रिमूविंग द hindrance ऑफ नॉलेज. Generally, the consumer and buyers are unaware about the new goods produced by the manufacturer, as there is no direct communication between the manufacturer and the ultimate consumer. The advertisement branch of commerce help in removing the hindrance of knowledge by spreading the awareness about the new products and their utility. For example, everyone knows that 1 to 7 is the latest microprocessor of computer because of advertisement. Okay, now आपको टाइम में इतने एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स वगैरह मिलते हैं, तो आपको किसी भी प्रोडक्ट के बारे में न्यू नॉलेज हो जाता है, आपको यूज़ कैसे करना है, वो सारी चीज़ें आपको जनरली अवेलेबल होती है. सो कॉमर्स इंक्लूड 2 टाइप्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज, ट्रेड एंड ऑक्सिलरीज ऑफ टू ट्रेड. बाइंग एंड सेलिंग ऑफ गुड्स is termed as trade, but there are lot of activities that are required to facilitate the purchase and sale of goods. These are called service or auxiliaries to trade and include transport, banking, insurance, communication, advertisement, packaging and warehousing. Commerce therefore includes both buying and selling of goods, that is trade, as well as auxiliaries such as transport, banking, etc. So commerce provides the necessary link between producers and consumers. It embraces all those activities which are necessary for maintaining a free flow of goods and service. These all activities involving the removal of hindrance in the process of exchange are included in commerce. The hindrances may be in respect of person, place, time, risk, finance, etc. The hindrance of persons is removed by trade, thereby making goods available to the consumers from the possessions to or ownership producers. So transport removes the hindrance of place by moving goods from the place of production to the markets for sale. Storage and warehousing activities remove the hindrance of time by facilitating holding of stocks of goods to be sold as and when required. Goods held in stock as well as good in course of transport are subject to the risk of loss or damage due to theft, fire, accidents, etc. So protection against these risks is provided by insurance of goods. Capital required to undertake the above activity is provided by banking and financing institution. Advertising makes it possible for producer and traders to inform consumers about the goods and services available in the market. Hence, commerce is said to consist of activities of removing the hindrance of person, place, time, risk, finance, and information in the process of exchange of goods and services. So, this is the main role of function of these all are the function of commerce. Now, classification of commerce. Commerce can be classified into 2 broad categories. First is trade and second is auxiliaries, it's to trade. Now first is trade. So trade is an integral part of commerce. It refers to buying and selling of goods and services. The trade segment of commerce brings together the manufacturer and the consumer. Traders act as a link between the manufacturer and the consumer. In the absence of traders, the manufacturer will have to search for consumer and the consumer will have to search for manufacturers. So, trade is an essential part of commerce. It refers to sale, transfer of or exchange of goods. It helps in making the good produced available to ultimate consumer or users. These days goods we can say these days goods are produced on a large scale and it is difficult for producers to themselves reach individual buyers for sale of their products. So businessmen are engaged in trading activities as middlemen to make the goods available to consumer in different market, like retailer, wholesaler, all are the part of trade. So goods available to consumer in different markets. In the absence of trade, it would not be possible to undertake production activities on a large scale. Trade may be classified into two broad categories. First is internal and second is external trade. So what is internal trade? Internal trade refers to buying and selling of goods or services within the geographical boundaries of a country. Like India, आपकी कंट्री है तो सिर्फ इंडिया में ही वो ट्रेड कर हो सकता है, दैट इज इंटरनल ट्रेड ना. इट इज ऑल्सो नॉन एज होम ट्रेड. सो होम ट्रेड मीन्स इंडिया, हम एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं. अंडर इंटरनल ट्रेड गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर बोट एंड सोल्ड इन द होम करेंसी. आपका रुपीज़ है तो होम करेंसी रुपीज़ है तो रुपीज़ में आपका ट्रांजेक्शन हो पाएगा. द इंटरनल ट्रेड कैन बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स, ए होलसेल ट्रेड एंड बी रिटेल ट्रेड. So first is wholesale trade. It refers to buying and selling of goods and services in large quantity. The wholesalers buys goods directly from the manufacturer and sell these goods to the retailers. Wholesaler क्या करते हैं? Manufacturer. First is manufacturer, then wholesaler, and then retailer, and then customers. This is the link. So it refers to buying and selling of goods and services in large quantity. The wholesalers buy goods directly from the manufacturer and sell these goods to the retailer. Generally, wholesaler is specialized in one line of product. He maintains a large stock. He buys goods for cash from manufacturer and sell on credit to retailer. A large amount of capital is required in wholesale trade. लाइक हम एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं, किसी के पास में स्टेशनरी का सामान है तो उसके पास में वो कम्प्लीटली स्टेशनरी का होलसेलर बोल देंगे हम उसको. नाउ रिटेल ट्रेड, इट रेफर्स टू बाइंग एंड सेलिंग ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इन स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज. द रिटेलर बाय गुड्स फ्रॉम द होलसेलर एंड सेल दीज गुड्स टू द अल्टीमेट कंज्यूमर. दैट इज रिटेल ट्रेड. ओके, या वी कैन से इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल ट्रेड मतलब डोमेस्टिक और होम ट्रेड इज कंसर्न विद द बाइंग एंड सेलिंग ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज विद इन द जोग्राफिकल बाउंड्रीज ऑफ ए कंट्री. दिस मे फर्दर बी डिवाइडेड इनटू होलसेल एंड रिटेल ट्रेड. व्हेन गुड्स आर परचेज्ड एंड सोल्ड इन बल्क, इट इज नॉन एज होलसेल ट्रेड. व्हेन गुड्स आर परचेज्ड एंड सोल्ड इन smaller quantities for final consumption, it is referred to as retail trade. Okay, now what is external trade? So external trade, it refers to a buying and selling of goods and services beyond the geographical limits of the country. Beyond means bahar, है ना. So it is also known as trade between two or more countries. In external trade, the market is very wide. External trade enables the businessmen to use the resources of their country in a competitive way. The external trade involves completion of various rules and regulations such as licensing, custom clearance, etc. External trade is of the following types. तो एक्सटर्नल ट्रेड करने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट आपको बहुत लंबी प्रोसीजर कंप्लीट करने के बाद में आपको लाइसेंस मिलता है इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट का, उसके बाद में आप एक्सटर्नल ट्रेड कर पाते हैं. या बहुत सारे टैक्सेस आपको पे करने होते हैं, बहुत सारी फॉर्मेलिटीज़ कंप्लीट करनी होती है. नाउ external trade is the following types. First is export trade. B is import trade and interport trade. So what is export? It refers to sale of goods to a foreign country. The developing countries like India increase export as it results in increasing foreign reserves. Import means it refers to buying of goods from a foreign country. Again I repeat, it refers to buying of goods from a foreign country. Import of technology or capital goods is encouraged as compared to import of consumer goods. Now, interport. It refers to import of goods for the purpose of export. In interport, the goods are purchased from a foreign country but not for consumption in home country, but for selling these goods to some other foreign country, that is interport. So external internal trade both are very important. So now next is auxiliaries to trade. We will discuss about the auxiliaries to trade in next video. So if you have any doubt or query, please drop a message, drop a comment. Okay, now thank you. Have a nice day to all.